Step 1. The movies. Evil. One problem I have with the movies straight off the bat, it's a movie of a video game. That gives it a 99% chance of either having nothing to do with the games, or just basically sucking. These Resident Evil movies fall into the first category. They have basically nothing to do with the games, except zombies. An umbrella, but not much. Resident Evil's Generation and 4D Executor at least was set in this game world. Now, by extinction, I thought I was watching one of the Living Dead films. I admit, they tried. They really did. And the first two were quite good action films, so I'll leave them be. But Extinction, that was an abomination. Psychic powers? You actually bought in Wesker. He wasn't even slightly cool in the films. You killed Wesker's coolness. And that's the problem. Step 2. Control your spin-offs. Evil. Let's see. You have the main series. 0, 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, 4, and now 5. Then you have Outbreak 1 and 2. Fair enough. Then you have the Survivor series. Okay. There's a few spin-offs for a game that's only had 6 or 7 main games. Then you have Gadian. Then you have The Missions, Confidential Report, Genesis, and the Generation game. Now that's more spin-offs than actual games, I think. Yeah, it's more spin-offs than actual games. What's the point? Why do we need so many spin-offs? And since half of them aren't even canon, it's just confusing. I picked up the first Outbreak game thinking it was the first Resident Evil game, and I didn't know much about Resident Evil. That shows how little I knew about Resident Evil. Step 3. Do you hate your fans or something? Evil. Resident Evil 4. Are you kidding me? Was that Resident Evil or Gears of War? You had a great, interesting and scary formula. That always had us worried about whether we would survive the next zombie. Then what'd you do? We become Super Agent Leon. We lose all survival and horror, and it becomes action. Some people say, oh, the arcade controls needed to be changed. No, they didn't. Capcom gave in to all the bloody idiots who think that every game should be an action game. It needed to evolve. Yes, there's a difference between evolving and changing into a different game. Kind of. But it's like they gave up with the idea of survival horror. I'm going to mention this more in my Resident Evil review. I don't hate this game. It's a good game. It's a great game. Resident Evil 4 and 5 are great games. It's not like playing Resident Evil anymore. Step 4. Please no backtracking. Evil. Alright, let's face it. The puzzles were good, but the backtracking, in Code Veronica especially, was really annoying. Why do we have to have so much backtracking? I mean, what's the point? A little backtracking, fine. I might need to go back to get a certain piece for a puzzle. But if every puzzle needs me to backtrack right across the game, fighting more enemies than needed, it's just annoying. But it's only a minor flaw and only in one of the games, really, so it's easily forgivable. It should be an action game. It needed to evolve. Yes, there's a difference between evolving and changing into a different game. Kind of. But it's like they gave up with the idea of survival horror. I'm going to mention this more in my Resident Evil review. I don't hate this game. It's a good game. It's a great game. Resident Evil 4 and 5 are great games. It's not like playing Resident Evil anymore. Step 5. No matter what I say, evil. Alright. No matter what I say, this is one of my favourite game series of all time. I love this series a lot. These games kick ass. No matter how much horror stuff I say about them. I love them. These are great games.